Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of 10 Minute Tuesday. If you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe. On this episode, I got my big bro, Ryan Wade, in the building. Ryan, what's going on, bro?
I can't call it, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks so much for taking time out today. I really appreciate you.
Likewise, man.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here, man. I've seen you since you was a little pup, man. When you first born into this world of data analytics, and to see where you're at right now, I'm a proud big bro.
I appreciate that, man. That definitely would not be here without you for sure. But this episode is about you, man. So Ryan, let's go ahead and get into it. Ryan, if you could introduce yourself.
Yes, as you just mentioned, my name is Ryan Wade. I'm a data analytic professional. Currently, I work for Microsoft as a senior cloud solution architect. My area of specialties include Power BI, Databricks, um, R, Python, SQL, to name a few.
Awesome. Very humble guy. Like this guy's the guy. He's the absolute man who knows it all. Databricks, R, Python, Power BI, all that. But at a certain point, you had to get your start. So what really compelled you to get into data to begin with?
I'm a curious person, and I know you are too. So I'm a curious person. So what happened was, the foundation was laid in college. So I studied economics and finance in college. Took a lot of courses in mathematics, and so that laid the foundation for a career in analytics. And when I got into industry, I was the analyst that was trying to push the what word I'm looking for, push the wheel, for lack of a better term. I was trying to do things that a normal analyst wouldn't do, and it came to a point to where I was asking IT for so many data sets, so many reports, and I was I didn't want to wait on them to get that information. So I started to learn how to query the database myself. I learned in SQL, and then later on, when data science started getting popular, I want to say towards the around the 2008 2010 era, I remember some of the uh, data science skills I learned in college. I took a course called econometrics, time series analysis. I was like, wow, it'd be nice to be able to do or apply that type of technology in industry. But when I got into industry, I realized that it wasn't as easy as it was when I was in school, when we were getting these curated data sets to, do that type of analysis. But as you know, industry, the data is messy. It's coming in multiple formats. So what was uh, what appeared to be doable in college wasn't as doable when I got in the industry. But when around the 2008, 2009 era, that's when the open source tools started becoming more popular. At the time, it was R. R was the most popular tool for data science at the time. And then later, Python, joined the scene. And having those being open source made data science more approachable to me. Now I didn't have that cost barrier to get to data science. It was all about grit. Do I have the grit, to go to the coffee shop all day and read books and write code and learn, through trial and error? Do I have that? And I did have the grit. So that's how I got to some of the advanced analytics skills I currently have.
That's awesome. Like you started on the grind, open source tool to even
Mhm.
writing a book, which is in the background. I'm gonna show later,
Mhm.
but like you had to really go through a process to get to
Mhm.
there. So understanding, it's been a journey to get to where you started to where you're at. What would you consider your biggest failure, with quotation marks around failure, and what did you learn from that experience in your career?
Mhm. I've been I have many failures. I felt many a times that, if I were to write a book about my failures, there'd be different volumes of it, and I can have a whole library of my failures. But it's important to fail. And one of the things that I say one of my biggest failures is that thinking I need to be perfect before I present myself in a certain area. And as I got deeper into the into industry, I realized there are a lot of people out there that they hack their way through a situation. They don't come to a situation already uh, expert in a certain field before they present themselves, and that the imposter syndrome. Overcoming that would be the biggest thing that I'll say, the biggest failure that I had that prevented me from being what I think much further along in my career than when I are than where I'm at.
I think that's so true. The presentation that people give
Hmm.
off, or the persona, or your internal
Hmm.
thought process of what you think people are, um, can be a hindrance, I guess you,
Hmm.
if you will, in the process.
Hmm.
And I think that's definitely a consistent theme that I've heard as I've talked to people, interacted with people, communicated with people, and that's a big hurdle. So, but once you've gotten over that, again, you're the man, you're crushing it, and you've been started working at consulting firms, but now you work for Microsoft, and two different areas to work for. What would you consider one lesson your job has taught you that you think everyone should learn at some point in their life?
One lesson that my job has taught me that everyone should learn at some point of their life. Good question. I think that one thing that my job has taught me is that it's important to have grit and be resilient. And also when you see a vision that has been well thought out, see it through. Because a lot of times, especially with as we know in data analytics, you probably saw early on with say Power BI or Tableau before it became real big. You probably saw the vision there, and you saw the opportunity that and the gaps that those types of tools created. So when you see those opportunities and those visions, I think that you should really work hard to see them through because if you do that, you'll position yourself to do great things. So I think that's super important. In the space that we're in, the CEO at Microsoft, Satya, he said that we're not in the year of data, we're in a decade of data. So a lot of stuff that we're seeing right now, there are tons of opportunities in data analytics. So I highly recommend that if you're in this space, that one, you identify what you're passionate about. This space is very broad, so there's a lot of areas that you can focus on. Once you focus on that, really work hard, to make sure that you learn the skill set, that you develop your skills in such a way to make that will separate you from others in the industry. And that comes from a lot of hard work and dedication. That's one thing I will warn you about that if you want to enter this career, as Seiko, as you know, you have to be a career learner. It's not
Yeah.
a situation where you can say I'm going to learn this skill set, and this skill set is going to stay stagnant, and I'm going to just leverage that for the rest of my career. No, this industry is constantly evolving, so it's extremely important that you have that grit and that work ethic that you will be a lifelong learner and learn the necessary things you need to learn in order to be successful in this career.
Fantastic advice, like sound advice, and God, yes, you will have to
Mhm.
continue to learn, or
Mhm.
you would get left behind, or you would be like a what if, and you see,
Mhm.
yeah. Best piece of advice is definitely you will have to keep learning in this field. All right, so
Yeah,
Ryan, so
the one thing I would
okay,
like to add on that, there's a movie that I saw a while ago that a scene in it stood out to me, a Bronx Tale, and Robert De Niro was the dad in that movie. He said that one of the saddest things in the world is wasted talent. And I see a lot of people, and some of you all that's watching this video, you have a lot of built-in talent that was given to you by God. And it's important for you to cultivate that talent. The one thing you don't want to do is get to an older age and have be that could have, should have, would have. So really take advantage of your opportunities and push forward.
listen to the man dropping gems. You don't want to be there at the end, like, dang man, I
Hmm.
wish I had. Start now,
Hmm.
start, go, just do it, just figure it out,
Exactly.
and just figure it out and
Hmm.
just go. Awesome. All right, Ryan, tell me. So thinking about this, again, I consider you a big brother. You're one of the people when I started out on my journey of like I was able to pick your brain. But for people on the podcast, what is one piece of advice you give someone who's just starting out in their career?
Yeah, someone who's starting out in data analytics, I highly recommend one, you pick a path, and then after you pick a path that you want to go down, reach out to someone who is in a position that you want to get to and learn from them how you should go about learning what you want to do in order to get to where you want to be. Reason why I say that, and I'm gonna try to clear it up, data analytics is very broad. It's very broad. And if you try to curate a career path in data analytics through Google searches and on your own, you're gonna make a lot of unnecessary mistakes. I'm going to share a personal story with you all. Don't laugh at me, Sekou, when I say this with you. But I one of the things, and this is another thing when you say things I've done wrong that I wish I would have did better, is that I did a lot of things on my own while reaching out to other people and learning from them. And in that, I made a lot of unnecessary failures and mistakes along the path. So much so that I used to have a real big natural. I used to have a real big afro, and it's getting a little touchy right now, but during the frustration, I used to just pull my hair out through frustration. It went from having this nice, nice natural to right now I have no hair at all. So if you do not want to end up in the same fate that I'm in right now, where you have no hair, then follow my advice and I'm trying to be funny, but I probably miss on that. But follow my advice and really, go after somebody who have been there and done that. Learn, by doing that, you would not make the unnecessary mistakes that people like me have made along the way, and then your path would be a lot smoother. So I think that's super important to do.
That's super dope sounding advice. I'm personally gonna give you flowers on wax. So if you hadn't made the mistakes or been open, like I want to be able to learn from you. Same with
Hmm.
Patrick. Same with Jonathan.
Hmm.
So the big three. Shout out to the beef that's going on with Drake and Kendrick. But y'all are the big three for me.
Yeah, and both of those, Jonathan and Pat, I consider those my big bros. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I still can't dress as good as Jonathan, but
No. No. Yeah.
but both of them. I mean, they were trailblazers in this in this field for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anything I can do, and like I said, if it's if you are watching this and you have questions about Ryan, I know I want a career in data analytics, but what path should I take? How should I go about cultivating a career path? I will have a short conversation with you to give you some advice, and we can go from there.
Love that. Love that. So good, great segue for my final question. Ryan, where can listeners find you at online?
The best place to reach me, I'm not real big social media guy, so the best place to reach me is LinkedIn. I haven't been too active on LinkedIn lately, but I'm about to become more active on LinkedIn again. So that'd be the best place to reach out to me is LinkedIn.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, bro, for taking time out for 10 Minute Tuesday. Can't wait to get this posted. I appreciate all that you do. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to talk to y'all next week. Have a great day.